Thank you, Dr. Khare. I really appreciate. I learned today, even today, the new things as well. But we have then several questions. The first group is then, just as you said, the sustainability. One good question is then very simple: is AI a savior or the destroyer in terms of energy issues and climate change? AI helps climate change or the AI disrupt climate change? AI consumes a vast amount of energy, but it also seems capable of finding solutions for energy and climate change issues.
Yes.
This is a question number one. And related to that, with regard to the energy and computation, for the energy, there is then some kind of the international scheme like then IEA, International Energy Agency, which coordinate the entire globe. However, as for the semiconductors, there is no international security platform. So therefore, how IBM thinks about to create or someone to create such kind of international platform. These are related to the energy issues as well as non-security issues.
Thank you. Great. Both are great questions. I will say I'm an optimist. I believe that AI technology will create so much opportunity that it will help. It will help improve efficiency. It will help improve productivity. It will help reduce the waste that we have to create. And it will also help to create technologies to reduce power consumption. So I believe that AI is a tool, just like automotive was a tool. Like when the engine was created, it was a tool to improve efficiency for transport. Same as AI. AI is a tool that we are creating to significantly improve our productivity, to improve our efficiency, reduce our cost of the work that we have to do. So I'm very optimistic that AI is a wonderful tool that is in a very, very early stage of its development. And it's our responsibility to develop a sustainable and responsible AI technology. Because just like any other tool, it can be misused as well. So that's why a partnership between industry and government and university is very important in not only creation of AI, but also how to create AI, what type of guardrails that we have. And that's why, because IBM believes in partnership, we had launched an initiative called AI Alliance. AI Alliance was just last week actually, with more than 50 partners, including many Japanese companies and universities, to create a open environment for many entities to participate in creation of responsible AI and sustainable AI technology. So I'm very optimistic. This will help. It's an accelerator, and we have to work towards making sure that the acceleration is in the direction of good for society, good for planet. Semiconductor, the second question you asked, that's a good question. There are governments thinking about responsible AI, but I will say that in last 2-3 years, semiconductor have become very important again because of the national security and supply chain related challenges. Countries are partnering, like US and Japan have a deep partnership now in cooperation in semiconductor. We have to think about how do we create a collaboration amongst like-minded countries, as you call. There is a US CHIPS Act, European CHIPS Act, Japanese CHIPS Act, Indian CHIPS Act, Southeast Asia. So many like-minded countries are working together. It's a good question that maybe, Nishikawa-san, we need to think about how do we create a much broader coalition, like to develop standards for collaboration in semiconductor across countries as well.
Thank you. The second group of the question is, let's say, regarding the investment policy or the business. The one fair question is, he says, I believe the world of the semiconductor is undergoing dramatic changes.
Yes.
With the advent of the quantum computers and chiplets, it is said that traditional manufacturing lines, which have required trillions of yen in investments, may become stranded assets, which means that may become some kind of the useless things. How could we prepare for such risks? How you think about this kind of, not criticism, but point?
Very good question. So let me share with you. As I described earlier on, one type of computing will not replace another type of computing. It will coexist. What it means is that traditional computing will continue and quantum computing will continue, and quantum computing will not replace traditional computing. In other words, the demand for semiconductor chip will continue to grow, and the investment that companies are making will continue to be a good investment to meet the ever-growing demand of three type of computing. It's not a or. It's not that you all either have quantum or you have high performance or you have AI. It's an and. You will have all three. We will have traditional computing, AI computing, and quantum computing. So I believe that the investment that is being made in creation of these bigger fab would be positive, will continue to provide value across different type of computing. One computing will not replace. In fact, we will have to create more investment to create more fabs, to create fabs for or infrastructure for new materials that may be introduced or new structure that may be introduced. So I'm very optimistic that it's an and, it's not an or, and I do not believe that asset will be a stranded asset. It will grow.
Thank you. We have several additional, but we have only 5 minutes left. The third group of questions is like human resources or the researches. Of course, then it is important for everything. The researchers, engineers, scientists is necessary. Are Japanese people excellent as engineers? As a leader of over 1,000 researchers, I would appreciate advice on how Japan should nurture its researchers. Maybe this is a question from the Japanese, some CTOs or the CEOs of such kind of the research institutions. How you respond, honestly.
Honestly. Great question. I'll give you my experience. IBM has partnered with Japanese companies for last 40 years, 40. IBM had partnered with Toshiba and Siemens in creation of DRAM Alliance in the 80s, starting with 1981. We have worked with every major Japanese company, including most recently, we are working with Rapidus as an example. And I can tell you based on right now we have close to 100 Rapidus engineers working with IBM side by side. And I will tell you that they are amongst the best engineers that we have right now. We are very proud, and we have shared that experience with Rapidus leadership as well. that Japanese engineers are amongst the most thorough and most dedicated and some of the best engineers that we are very proud to be working with. That said, Japan as a country has to continue to invest and foster engineering discipline, and especially semiconductor engineering discipline. Because of the lack of Japanese manufacturing companies in semiconductor, the university research has also transitioned in the areas where the investment is. Just like in Japan, there is a big focus in United States also to invest in creating university courses for semiconductor. This is also an opportunity where US and Japan can partner at the university level to create new programs, to create excitement for next generation, because semiconductor is at the foundation for all of the technology we are talking about, right? Even if you are interested in sustainability, semiconductor is the way to get to sustainability goals. So, great Japanese engineers, we are very proud of working with them even today and for last 40 years. But there is a need for collaboration to create new generation of semiconductor and engineering engineers to continue this pathway for engineers to be available to participate in creation of future of sustainable computing.
Thank you. Final question is, that enjoying my status, I have a question to you. As you pointed out, computing architecture has developed in last 100 years.
Yes.
And it will continue from now on decades. Especially you said traditional one, AI computing, as well as then quantum computing.
Yes.
What kind of supply chain is necessary toward the future? Of course, now we are discussing about the semiconductor these days, but in addition to that, of course, the human resource is important. What kind of supply chain elements should be resilient or sustainable toward the future, especially in 2030s, for example, toward the 2030s, where the quantum computing is coming? So not only the traditional computing, but also the quantum computing supply chain seems necessary. How do you think?
Oh, I agree. And we really need to pay attention to the end-to-end supply chain. And things like quantum computing needs different materials as well. So we have to look at it for each of these branches of computing. We have to look at it all the way from what type of materials are used, like newer materials are getting used. How do you build these chips? Then how do you build systems? Because computing is not chip, it's actually system, right? And then also software, because computing is consumed only by software. We don't consume computing by hardware, right? There has to be a software written, even for computers, for phone, there's a software. And then there is a human aspect, which is the workforce. So we have to look at every aspect in each of these three domains. In the space of, just as an example, in space of AI or quantum, the new areas of computing, we also need to work towards developing not only chip technology, but also chip design, system design, and then the talent. So that it's always important to look at full stack, that's what we call in computing. And at IBM, we are very fortunate that we work on full stack. So we can work from chip to deployment and everything in between. Because if one piece is missing and if it is not available because of national security reason, then it will break the whole chain for both economic growth as well as for national security. So look at it as a end-to-end.
Thank you, Dr. Khare. Unfortunately, 60 minutes is very short. We already passed the time. So therefore, we have to stop here. I think we learned a lot today. It's not only the technological things, but also the mindset. You say the end-to-end, supply chain, full supply chain thinking is really essential toward the future. And also the computing and clean tech, the environmental things,
Yes.
and national security.
Yes.
These are already, interlinkage.
All connected.
Please continuously, advise us, that toward the good, supply chain as well as an innovation basis. So I really thank you for all, the kind explanation today, and we would like to end today's presentation. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to share my experience with all of you. Thank you very much, Nishikawa.
Thank you very much.